The first 9 months of a 2-weekend project are the longest. Himself has been quoting that a lot lately. We have had a big project going on here on the patio since the end of March, but I am happy to announce that it is done. So before we do a little puttering on the patio in our pajamas, let me show you what's been going on for the last couple of months. So we got a bit of a situation happening back here on the patio. This fountain was here when we moved in. It kind of sort of halfway worked, but mostly we made a big puddle of water over there. And we ran it like a couple of times early on when we had our family up to see the house and whatnot, and we had so much rain that day, that week, month, whatever, that the ground was kind of water saturated, so it kind of worked. And then the pump messed up, and so anyhow, it's been one of those things that has been on the list, but not high at the top of the list. So I asked himself and nephew Sam if they couldn't just take a look at it and see where we were at, if it was a easy fix or what the sitch was. Apparently, the person who thought planting a cypress tree or putting a fountain next to the cypress tree was not a great plan. And it would be really great to have this going, or if it's not going to be going, then let me do something with it. So, yeah. That's the thing about houses, gardens. They're always a work in progress. There's always something. So, yeah. So, we got to fix the pump. We got to get a new liner, and then we need to shovel all this back in. Oh, and also the ginormous rocks. Let me walk over this way. Ginormous rocks sitting over there. Thank you to my neighbor Ken, who came over with his tractor and lifted those up and set them off over there. So yeah, there's a project. Never a dull moment. Apparently, they heard there's going to be a water feature. And I missed it. There was one that was like standing on top of the rocks this morning.
Now then, we got a pull. We note where it's at, and we leave it running for several hours.
Progress has been made. The rock pile is much smaller, so pump is fixed. Everything, a new pump, liner is sorted out. So now we're just putting it back together, which involves shoveling rock into a bucket and rinsing and straining to get out all the debris that we could before throwing that bucket of rock back in the fountain. And we'll continue to fill it in. Hopefully next weekend it will be finished. And the Samuel are doing the last bit of gravel. Oh, whoa. It doesn't happen if we don't catch it on the socials. It doesn't happen. Okay. There I'm whoa! Last gravel. Good job. Huzzah for the gravel. So close, so close. All the gravel, the small gravel is done. These big rocks got to be put and arranged. And more importantly, look at this edging that himself came up with to do. And, and these are brick that were just stacked out on the property, left over from something or another. And look at that. So that is where the liner is folded over, but it gives it such a nice border. And then they have swooped the gravel down, so it's at the base of the waterfall. So they will continue putting the rocks, placing them so close, so close. Yeah. Oh, it sounds nice. It's gonna be lovely. Gonna be lovely.
No, it doesn't spring hard, does it? Yeah, that's not cool there. So if you put the other piece and partially chain it, point it this way, would that help?
So because we've had all this going on the patio, I had not done anything out here as far as arranging my plants. I didn't want them in the way when they were working. There was gravel being shoveled and sometimes the gravel would go flying when Sam would get in the zone. But we so appreciate nephew Sam digging out all that gravel. And so we had not done anything as far as arranging. So my citrus, I brought them out early on, but they were just jammed up back here in this space. So before we give you the big reveal, hang around toward the end. In true YouTube fashion, hang around to the end for the big surprise. I thought I'd give you a little tour of what we're doing here on the patio, what it looks like now. So yeah, these were all I had them bunched up just out of the way, but I have since spent a morning out here dispersing plants. I've also kind of rearranged some things. These are my camellias that were on the front porch through all of fall and winter. I've brought them back here because they will appreciate some afternoon shade instead of full sun on the front porch. Now, this patio is morning sun, afternoon shade. So the sun is starting to come up. We were out here early. So it's great to get out here very early in the morning, sit here, enjoy your tea. And then when the sun starts rising, pretty soon it's going to be bright out here. We do have umbrellas all around that we can pop over the table and seating areas and whatnot. When we moved in, there was a pergola up here. It was rotting, so they took that down and left the beams for that were still good. And then we have our lights around this area. So we like to call it the Patio. It's a great place for an evening party. But this little seating area, you can see over there, umbrella. This little seating area needs a little something, and I have something. Spritz, please. Because no space is complete without some decorative pillows. Yes, himself. There are decorative pillows out here now. We feel things are really complete. So yeah, lots of citrus. We have a couple of roses in pots. We have some plumerias. We have our, Surefire Red Cascade, Proven Winners Begonia. Those are coming on nicely. We'll take the tags in here. So yeah, this space is looking good. We have dispersed some of the citrus, out and about around the patio. So let me show you that. So another feature of this patio, we have a fire pit. Obviously, it's not going to get used a lot in the next couple of months as we endure the fiery trials of an Oklahoma summer. But we have added bought some new chairs. Now these are, decently padded, a little bit, if we have a storm, they're going to blow away. So they're not going to sit out here all the time. We're going to bring them out on weekends and when we have company and whatnot. And the rest of the time they will probably be in the garage, because you don't want your brand new patio chairs that you just bought at Lowe's to go flying to the next county in a storm. So the fire pit makes an excellent spot to set your glass on, your cup of tea, whatever. These chairs are movable. We can move them around. And then we have put citrus along the edge back here, which kind of makes it, we'll call this the citrus grove. We have done hardly any upkeep on our citrus. We have some trimming that needs done. I've spotted some scale. I will, if possible, if it's a spot where I could just trim it off, I will. We're going to have to get the neem oil out and get some spraying done. But, there's been a lot going on. And so we finally have got the citrus dispersed around the patio. You can also see Nutney Green back there, and the sun is coming. Had a ton more rain, so once again, it's needs mowed. Mowing, and you don't want to complain too much about the rain that you're having in June, because July and August are notoriously hot and dry. We have added here this is my angel trumpet. It's spent the winter in the garage. It's looking really good. We've got a little cactus. Look at him. It's a little monkey puzzle tree. We used to have a big one, and grubs or something chewed all the roots out of the pot of the big one we used to have, which we called Seamus. So now we have a wee Seamus started in this little pot, monkey puzzle tree. If you're wondering why it's called a monkey puzzle tree, it has these I'll put a picture in, ones that I have seen in Ireland and in the UK. And the theory behind it is that it would puzzle a monkey to try to figure out how to climb this tree. So a monkey puzzle tree. Wee Seamus. We also have a little cactus started. Oh, weeds. Weeding. Never done. This is a plumeria. Now, we used to have a lot of these. We had two ginormous ones at the other house, other garden, that spent the winters in the glass house. But after the house fire, I think I've told this story before, just so briefly, house fire happened, and then the glass house survived, but we had some really cold temperatures, and we had a heater fail. And when we lived there before, we had a warning system to let us know temperatures were dropping. Obviously that was gone, and we were living 30 minutes away. So, we just lost a ton of plants, which is fine. We've moved on. We've got a new space that we really, really enjoy. People ask me about the glass house
quite often. It is stacked out. Probably should go down there and show you sometime. I don't know. I don't want the state of the shop building is at this moment, but it is stacked out. The glass, the trusses, the framework, everything is stacked out down in himself's shop in the corner. So one day it may rise again. That might be a retirement project. I don't know. But we had some big plumerias there, in which we lost, but I've slowly added some back. I've got this one, and then I've got a couple of smaller ones that are over on that wall with the citrus that we picked up when we were on vacation, at South Padre, right the September before we closed on the house in October. We were there, and so we picked up a couple. So anyhow, this space is looking really good. But as you can tell, the sun is coming up, and we will come back this evening for the big reveal of the fountain. And yeah, let's go. I'm going to go find something else to do. There are the trusses. You can see the walls, some of the roof, rain barrels, fans. There's more parts of wood over there. This wood here, I think, this is reclaimed from our old deck, a part that didn't burn, and I think it was good, solid wood. So himself kept it. You never know what project you might need that for. So yeah, so this is just a little corner over in the shop building where we have all of this stacked out. I also have some extra flower pots down over here, but the rest of the glass is up toward the front of the building. And up here at the front, tucked in the corner, here are the doors for the glass house, and the glass panels are back in there as well, all tucked in. The gold wing is in front of it. So yeah, there you have it. The glass house now resides in the shop building. And since, we have this whole Jane Austen theme going, we had to come up with a name for the shop building. But himself is known to, well, first of all, he is somebody who can pretty much fix anything. That's what he does. That's his job as well. But he also, in his spare time, loves to putter. He loves to putter and build things and work on projects. And this shop is wonderful because he can leave all his projects out and just, when he has time, come and work on them. So he will come down in the morning and just, on a day off or when the weather's bad, and come down here and just putter around for hours. So hence, we call this the putterage. The putterage. So there you have it. Alrighty, it's kind of toasty in here. I didn't open all the doors. I just came in to show you where the glass house is. I am gonna go get a little bit of work done, and I will meet you this evening for a happy hour on the Patio. So I thought there could be no better way to celebrate getting this huge project done than with a glass of bubbles and a lily pulitzer caftan. A lily pulitzer caftan was meant for the Patio. I have wanted one of these forever. And if you've ever looked at a lily pulitzer website, they're kind of pricey. But I got this one on deep clearance at Dillard's, at the Dirty Dillard's. And I just love it. It was well within my price range. So excited to wear it. It is about to be extremely too warm for it because it is kind of cottony, long sleeves, but opportunity. So fountain project, talked about it and showed you what all's been going on. It ended up being, we didn't need a new liner. Cypress roots didn't grow up through the liner. They grew up outside and over and in. So they still required digging a lot of those out. The pump needed replaced. And it has such better water flow than the old one. In fact, the couple of times that we ran it, the very first time we ran it, when we fired it up and it started going, and I was like, that's all it does? Because it wasn't much. It was a little bit down here, and there was just barely a trickle up at the top. So the pump apparently had been going out for quite some time. So now we have a new pump. Himself and the Samuel redesigned it a little bit, to make it easier access to if there is a problem with it. They also rearranged the rocks some, putting some of the bigger rocks rather than up on top, down at the bottom, so that it shouldn't require someone to come over and help if there is a problem. They got those moved with our little lawn tractor and a trailer and pulled them around and got them in there. So yeah, super excited to have this project done. For a long time, this has merely been a jungle gym for the squirrels. They love it, but now it's actually going to work. So without further ado, and of course, there is a remote because it isn't himself. And if himself is involved, there is going to be a remote. We're not going to be bending down and turning the switch on. Oh no. So without further ado, huzzah to the fountain. We went to the Ren Fair whilst we were in the midst of this project. We took a little break. So it has resulted in all of us doing a lot of huzzaring. So yeah, there you have it. Isn't it awesome? So we'll put a little video of the fountain running here at the end, a moment of zen, as it were. And we'll be enjoying this every morning with our cup of tea, and in the evening on the patio. So happy Flower Friday. Check out the usual pictures and whatnot. And I will see you next week. I'm not sure what's happening next week. It won't be nearly this exciting.